In the heart of the Balkans, nestled near Central Europe, lies a country rich in history and culture, Serbia, home to the proud Serbian people. Despite its lack of coastline, Serbia is surrounded by a tapestry of diverse Balkan and European neighbors. To the north, it borders Hungary, Croatia, and Romania. To the west, it touches Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the south, you'll find Montenegro and Bulgaria, along with Kosovo, though Serbia does not officially recognize Kosovo's independence. Covering an area of 88,500 square kilometers, Serbia is relatively large for a Balkan nation. Its bustling capital, Belgrade, is home to nearly 2 million people, while the country's total population hovers around 7 million. Before we delve into the vibrant life of modern Belgrade, it's important to recognize that Serbia's history stretches back much further than many realize. The history of Belgrade dates as far back as 5700 BC, with the rise of one of Europe's largest prehistoric cultures, the Vinča culture, which thrived in the region during the 6th millennium BC. In antiquity, the area was inhabited by the Thraco-Dacians, before the Celts conquered the city in 279 BC, naming it Singadun. Roman control followed under the reign of Augustus, with Belgrade receiving official city rights in the mid-2nd century. Though the Slavs began settling the region in the 520s, Serbia's historical roots go back well before their arrival, and the area changed hands multiple times before Belgrade became the capital under King Stefan Dragutin between 1282 and 1316. In 1521, the Ottoman Empire seized control of Belgrade, making it the seat of a sanjak, a significant administrative division. Over the next centuries, Belgrade frequently passed between Ottoman and Habsburg rule, with much of the city being destroyed in the Austro-Ottoman Wars. Despite this tumultuous history, Belgrade was again named the capital of Serbia in 1841, though northern Belgrade remained under Habsburg control until 1918, when it was incorporated into the unified Serbian state. The city has seen immense conflict, being fought over in 115 wars and completely destroyed 44 times. From 1918 to 2006, Belgrade served as the capital of Yugoslavia in its various governmental forms, cementing its importance as a strategic and cultural hub in the Balkans.
I just want to know what you suggest, because back then, when I was in your position, I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade. I was suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina. I was suggesting we take out his oil supplies. I was suggesting very specific action.
One of the darkest chapters in Serbia's recent history was the NATO bombing campaign in 1999 during the Kosovo War. This military intervention, known as Operation Allied Force, was initiated by NATO without United Nations approval, and it lasted 78 days. The bombing campaign targeted critical infrastructure in Serbia, including bridges, factories, and military installations, as well as civilian areas in Belgrade. Tragically, one of the most controversial incidents was the bombing of the Chinese embassy in Belgrade on May 7, 1999, which resulted in the deaths of 3 Chinese journalists. The U.S. later called this an accidental bombing, but it further complicated international relations and remains a point of contention between Serbia and NATO to this day. This period of NATO aggression left deep scars on Serbia, both physically and psychologically, and its aftermath continues to influence the country's political landscape and relations with the West. Kosovo, with its majority Albanian population, declared its independence from Serbia in 2008, a move that Serbia does not officially recognize. The recognition of Kosovo's independence is far from universal, with over 100 countries recognizing it as an independent state, but many others, including Russia, China, and India, standing by Serbia's position. Unlike past norms established by the United Nations, Kosovo's independence was achieved without a clear international consensus, and this has led to ongoing disputes about its legitimacy. One of the most visible signs of foreign influence in the region is the large NATO military base in Kosovo, Camp Bondsteel, which serves as the main hub for KFOR, the NATO-led peacekeeping force that continues to monitor and maintain security in the region. The presence of this base is a reminder of the complex and ongoing geopolitical struggles in the Balkans, with Kosovo's status remaining a key point of tension between Serbia, NATO, and the international community. Today, Serbia's national identity is symbolized by its flag, 3 horizontal stripes in red, blue, and white, representing the pan-Slavic colors. These hues carry deep meaning: red for bravery and the blood shed in battle, blue for freedom, and white for peace. On the left side of the flag sits the Serbian coat of arms, topped with a royal crown, a nod to the country's powerful kingdoms of the past. When you visit Serbia, you'll notice their use of the Cyrillic alphabet, a writing system shared by many Slavic nations. However, in Belgrade, you'll often see signs in both Cyrillic and Latin alphabets, making navigation a little easier for visitors. Even if you aren't familiar with Serbian, locals appreciate when travelers attempt a few words. For example, you can greet someone with Zdravo, hello, or ask Kako si, how are you? Simple phrases like DA for yes, NI for no, and Volim TE, I love you, can go a long way in endearing yourself to the people. Serbia's currency, the dinar, reflects its non-membership in the European Union, meaning it doesn't use the euro. To give you an idea, 2,000 Serbian dinars equate to around 17 euros. Interestingly, one of the most recognizable faces on the Serbian currency is that of Nikola Tesla, the famed scientist who was born in what is now Croatia, but is proudly claimed by Serbia as one of their own. In fact, Belgrade's airport is named in his honor, and you can even visit the Nikola Tesla Museum in the city to learn more about his life and work. As you wander through Belgrade, the city's main artery, Knez Mihailova Street, is sure to catch your attention. Named after Prince Mihailo III, this bustling pedestrian street is lined with grand European-style buildings, most of which are over 100 years old. The architecture, predominantly in shades of cream and white, offers a glimpse into Serbia's elegant past. While today the street is pedestrian-only, it once accommodated cars and even livestock, serving as a hub for both commerce and social life. Modern-day Knez Mihailova is alive with street musicians, performers, and vendors selling everything from souvenirs to popcorn, a popular snack here. Despite the beautiful architecture, one minor downside is the abundance of overhead cables, which can obstruct that perfect photo you're trying to capture. The city, however, has worked around this by constructing underpasses for pedestrians, keeping the streets cleaner and more accessible. Belgrade is a relatively compact city, covering just 360 square kilometers, which makes getting around easy, whether by foot or public transportation. One of the perks for travelers is the free red bus that takes you from the airport to the city center. But beware of the local taxis. They're notorious for overcharging, particularly from the airport, where fares can reach up to 50 euros for a mere 14-kilometer journey. On the north side of the Sava River lies New Belgrade, a quieter, more business-oriented part of the city. Here you'll find relics of the Yugoslav era alongside modern corporate offices for global companies like Microsoft and Huawei. In contrast, the south side of the river is where the heart of the city beats, filled with cafes, museums, and parks. It's also here that you can spot evidence of Serbia's growing ties with China, with Chinese businesses, restaurants, and even casinos cropping up near the airport. In recent years, Serbia has seen significant infrastructure development, and one of the most ambitious projects is the Belgrade-Budapest high-speed rail, funded by Chinese investment. This modern rail system is part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, and it's transforming transportation in the region. The first section, connecting Belgrade to Novi Sad, has already been completed, allowing passengers to travel between the two cities in under an hour, When fully completed, this high-speed rail will link Belgrade to Budapest, Hungary, drastically reducing travel times and reinforcing Serbia's role as a key transport hub in the Balkans. If you like the content so far, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Now, let's talk about living expenses in Serbia, something travelers and expatriates will find pleasantly surprising. Compared to much of Europe, Serbia is quite affordable. In Belgrade, you can rent a comfortable apartment for a fraction of what it would cost in Western Europe, around 300 to 500 euros per month for a city center apartment, depending on the location and size. Utilities, including heating, electricity, and internet, average about 100 euros per month. Dining out is also affordable, with a meal at a mid-range restaurant costing between 5 and 10 euros, and street food, like the delicious cevapi or burek, costing even less. Serbia's economy has faced challenges, but for visitors and expats, the country offers a high quality of life without the high price tag. Now, one fascinating fact about Serbia is the height of its people. Serbians are among the tallest populations in the world. On average, Serbian men stand at around 1.82 meters, 6 feet tall, while the women average 1.67 meters, 5 feet 6 inches. And if you're wondering if this applies to their leadership, look no further than Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić, who towers at 1.99 meters, 6 feet 6 inches. His height is symbolic of the strength and presence Serbia maintains on the international stage. You'll notice this as you stroll through the streets of Belgrade, where the locals' towering stature is just one of their remarkable features. Speaking of the people, it's impossible not to mention the beautiful women of Serbia, who are renowned for their striking features and natural elegance. With a blend of Slavic and Mediterranean heritage, Serbian women possess an almost regal beauty, complemented by their tall frames and often stunning blue or green eyes. This beauty isn't just skin deep. Serbian women are known for their intelligence, kindness, and warm hospitality, traits that make visitors feel welcomed and at home. If you find yourself walking down Knez Mihailova Street, Serbia's busiest pedestrian street, you're likely to encounter these stunning women dressed impeccably, showcasing the effortless style that seems to come naturally in this part of the world. When it comes to food and drink, you'll be pleased to know that Belgrade's tap water is safe to drink, especially from street fountains. However, bottled water in the city is often of lower quality than you might expect, unless you opt for glass bottles in cafes. Grocery prices in Serbia are quite reasonable, with most items costing between 1 and 2 euros. For instance, a liter of organic milk is about 1.5 euros, while salami, sausages, and unprocessed meats fall in the same price range. Alcohol, especially beer, is also very affordable. This video covers just the first part of Serbia. In the next video, we'll continue to explore this fascinating country. Until then, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more adventures.